Good morning guys, we are just in the process of emptying out the kitchen. Nick is on his way, the walls are getting done today. Are you excited?
Yes.
And the PVC is dry.
The FBI.
The FBI.
The RBS.
USB.
USB.
We don't know what the acronym is for this wall stuff, so we just go with a different one each time. But yeah, the bonding agent Iwan put on is dry, so that will all be getting done first. So Nick, what is the plan?
So we're going to use a trowel,
Yeah,
and a hook, yeah. And what we're going to do with trowel and hook is teach you guys
how to spin.
To put render on a wall.
Are we going to do a scratch coat?
Don't know. What I'd like to do, because you filled out all the gaps fairly good. If I can get it on thick enough, I'll try and do it in one coat, nice thick coat, and then we can, because it's not going to be flat, so you want it to be like an organic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll try and get it on one coat, but if that, we'll see how it goes, and then if it doesn't work like that, we'll put one coat on, scratch it, so we can put another coat on in the future.
Cool. Good to know what
Yeah.
I'm doing.
So just show you guys some technique of how to get it off there and onto there. Simple stuff. No. No. No.
Ideal.
You've SBR'd it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Basics of rendering, yeah? Put some render, nice fluffy stuff. Lots of additive in it.
Lots of additive.
Lots of additive. No, of course, the manufacturer's recommended amount. So basically, on your hook, get some muck, take it off the hook onto your trowel, and then literally onto the wall. Like so, yeah? And then just keep repeating that. It's going to be a bit weird because your wall's not flat, so you're going to have to choose like go, which sticks out here. Obviously, if you put a line, it's going to miss lots. You know what I mean? And then just
Thanks.
keep repeating the process. So go for it.
Cool. Have to pick it up like that.
Yeah, just scoop onto. Yeah, lovely homemade hook.
I know, right? With an olive handle.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so then like that.
Yeah. Try and. So what you need to do is try and flick it onto your trowel. Yeah.
Okay.
So I need to be holding that. Yeah.
Oh. And then on and up.
Yeah. There you go.
Easy.
If you push more push it into the wall more.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will stick better to the wall. It sounds like crazy, but it will. Yeah.
Like so.
Like that. Yeah. So just keep going, and I'll start this end. Just for a demonstration purpose, so a wet sponge. Okay? And you have to let this dry so you can just see my, I don't know if you can get a close up, see the fingerprints I've got all over this? So you can put fingerprints in it but it's not wet. Yeah, so like here, you can So it's sort of like formed a skin on. It's an experience thing you'll get. It is actually at the moment a little bit wet. You can see it's dragging the sand to the surface a little bit too much. But basically we're going to go all over the wall, basically. Yeah, like this. Yeah, see where it's moving big sections?
Yeah.
Pick it up. So that means it's too wet. So we will leave it at the moment. We won't sponge anymore. Yeah.
Time for a cup of tea.
We'll have a cup of tea and see what it's like when we come back. But yeah, you can see us bringing up lots of big bits, so it's still really wet for doing this. You have to find out where the curves, best way the curves flow. Here now. You filming it?
Do your best, spongy.
Yeah. So basically, what just you're rubbing smaller bits of sand and cement into holes. Basically, that's all it does, and it smooths the finish off. You know. But when you get a build up of bit on the sponge, it takes more off. So you have to clean the sponge more frequently to get a finer finish. Yeah, because at the moment now you can see it's dragging. It drags, when it's dirty, it drags it all together, and it pulls more of the mix off the wall. So what I need to do now, see what's happened there. I rinse the sponge out. So it's clean. I can go over that bit just to show you. See what I mean? If the sponge is clean, you get a lot finer finish with it. It takes out all the rougher bits.
Lovely.
So what I'm going to do is let you have a go.
So Iwan's just made up a half mix. So half. We just have a little bit more of this wall to do. Nick has now left us to it, which is a little bit nerve-wracking. But what I'm doing is, actually I'll put the camera down. So with the trowel, I'm just going over bits like this, looking for holes, and also feeling for where the mix is a bit thin, so that when we can sponge it off it doesn't catch there. So yeah, it's really quite satisfying doing it like this. Apparently I'm doing it a bit too perfectionisty, but it's good. so warm today. I can't believe it's only April. This is our new lounge. We're just going to live outside now. We're just stopping for lunch and then we just need to finish sponging off the back wall and then we're going to do the other wall tomorrow, I think. So we're on the second and hopefully final day of rendering the walls. It should be done today. We've just got this one and this little half wall to do. These ones are done, looking really good. So here's how the walls are looking. This is where Nick sponged off, and then you can kind of see on this wall there are a few marks. It's hard when you're actually doing it to see them, and now it's dried I can see them, but we don't mind, it doesn't really matter, it's more just for a perfect finish. So yeah, you can see it a bit there, that's where the edge of the trowel is, but it's fine, and once it's painted I'm sure it'll look okay and we don't mind doing. So what we've been doing here is we want to put a shelf here, so Nick said as well to like do a really thick render here up to it, so then we can flatten this off at a later date. So yeah, today we just need to get the SBR on the wall, and then we'll be doing this one. Around the window is going to be a fun little challenge. Got someone ploughing the field next door, and then yeah, this wall fueled by coffee. Need to go get some wheelbarrows of sand up here from down there. So the roller did tend to send lots of drips everywhere. So we're trying a mop head.
Google said it might work.
Yeah. So it's this painted wall that is most in need of the bonding agent because we have painted it. If you're planning to render breeze blocks, don't paint it because it makes it harder for the render to bond with. Obviously we didn't know that when we painted them, so there you go. You can learn from our mistakes. But I think it is just best practice to use it anyway when you're rendering, or that's what Nick's told us anyway. So these are Iwan's handmade forks. with finest olive wood handles. I don't think this one will last another job because the MDF, but it definitely works better than this one, which was a bit of my old shelf that Iwan didn't realise was a shelf, so there we go. But that's quite beautiful, maybe we could do something with that. But yes, and a real hawk. So I'm just starting to trowel off the wall already because this wall is in full sun. It has been since 7 AM and it's about 20 degrees, so it's setting really quickly, much quicker than this side. So I think we'll be sponging soon, but parts of it already starting to dry. And I've got some really awkward bits doing the top and around the window. But yeah, and we're both got very tired arms from being lifting up and stuff, but we're getting there. Second mix is happening. You don't use your hands for cementing. Not good for them. So we're on to mix number 3. I think we will need one more after this to finish it off. I did start sponging off up here, but as you can see, I hope it's going to pick up where it gets this scratchiness. That means it's too wet, I do believe, so I'm going to hold off a bit longer on doing that and do some more rendering. We're on to mix 4. Mix 3, a lot went on the floor and hand swept, so a bit has gone to waste, so I've given it a good clean up now. Always keep a clean workspace. This is getting tiring now, but hopefully this is the last mix. Well, do you think this will be the last one?
This should be the last one.
Yeah, maybe a mini half mix.
Hopefully not.
Let's go. What are you doing there? So we've sponged it all down. That was a labour of love. We're going to make another mix, but not today, just to top the shelf and make that flat.
Yeah, this needs to dry first.
Yeah, let that get a bit stronger. We've started doing it over there from where it was yesterday, with some that we had left over. I think it's looking really good.
Get in there.
Yeah. And then soon we'll paint it. But yeah, so happy with that. We're both a bit tired now though.
Yeah, tired.
That has been heavy on the arms. You should definitely wear waterproof gloves when sponging off as well. This is not good for your hands. Nick did tell me, but yeah. Got given a big beautiful basket of lemons, so I'm going to make some lemonade to fuel us. We just need to do one mix today really to finish off the shelf, so this will give us some good energy. So today we've just made up another mix, and we just need to build up the tops of these. We want to make them as flat as possible. So yeah, and that should then be the last of the rendering. So annoyingly looks like we need to make another half mix, but it is looking really good considering we're not too sure what we're doing, half know what we're doing, but yeah, if it's flat then that's going to be fine. Iwan's just gone to get more cement from the long way away that it is. We've decided we're going to do the sponging off with some pet nut.
Pet nut.
Because we've decided it's already Iwan's birthday, or the last day celebrating.
The last day of being 34.
Wow, you're old.
I know. Halfway to 70 tomorrow.
So, whose pet nut is this?
This is made by a friend of ours called Andre, who lives in Val de Preseres, which is in the Fundão area, not too far from here. And he has wine called Primeiras Gotas, I think it's called. And yeah, this is a sparkling version. I think this is the first time he's done a sparkling version. So, very excited. It's fizzy. Oh, we've left the lid in there.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it smells amazing. It's Moscatel, great variety, which is one that I want to plant.
You've got one, haven't you? One plant.
Some. I'll take you on a tour of them.
Maybe in the next video though.
Maybe.
We've got lots of content in this one. Cheers. Happy last day of being 34.
Thanks. Cheers.
We're just waiting for the shelf thing render to dry. It's still a bit wet for sponging off, so we thought we would do some prep to have a barbecue. I did just register to have a fire because we have some stuff to burn, but it's 59 out of 100, so they recommended we don't have one, so we're just gonna have a small barbecue instead, which is a bit of a shame, but it's always better to be safe than sorry. We've driven around the area, so we just have a tiny little cooking fire, so as long as that's really well contained we should still be fine. But yeah, we've got lots of branches still to burn, but we'll wait for another day. Hopefully we'll get one before summer, because that's part of being here, you have to clear the land. But yeah, I'm gonna go check if the render is drying up for sponging now.
Albi.
Oh my gosh. Albi.
Schoolboy error. At least that one's a cat print.
I've just finished sponging.
Let's leave that one there.
Okay, that's the Albi print. I'll try and sponge that back in.
And we need to close the window.
You monster, Albi.
Horrible kitten.
I think it's too deep.
I'll go for it, just give it some.
Yeah, but we're gonna have a dip then.
Absolute schoolboy error.
Done the best I can, but you know, I kind of love that this house is very handmade, so now it's handmade by Albi too. It is a couple of days later now and I have a beautifully drying plaster wall here behind me. We're slowly trying to put the kitchen back together. We'll be painting soon. It's a very wet day here. Today I think we've got a few wet days, so we're hibernating out in here. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It was a lot of work, but it feels like it's really transformed the space, and I can't wait to share with you more as we make this kitchen space really beautiful. It definitely feels a lot less like the dusty old cold barn that had a leaking roof 18 months ago. So yeah, this feels like a really big step. But yeah, we'll catch you in the next one.